The funny thing is, like, what you're saying is not far-fetched though, right? Because think about it. Back home, even us, like when I was back home, seeing a white person was like, oh.
Really?
Yes. Like, it's funny. It's like Africans are known for making up some of this like dumbest like things. They told us when we were young, yo, if you fart in front of a white person, they will give you money. I swear to God, you can ask people from in Guinea. They'll say if you fart in front of a white person, they'll give you money. This is how they say it. And
I was little, so like I saw snow, right? Because we came to New York and there was snow. I was so happy. I was playing around. I actually have a picture of that. And when we were going back to Ivory Coast, I put like in a Ziploc bag or in a plastic bag.
I always thought about it. I was like, the reason why I wanted to snow in Africa, because I was like, yo, Santa Claus never traveled this way. It gotta snow in Africa in order for Santa Claus to come to Africa. So I used to beg so I could see, but Santa Claus will never come to Africa. It's too hot. If I was to bring all this technology back then, let's say I'm able to take all this camera and bring it back to them, and I show one of the kings. I plug a TV and show a king. I go to somebody's kingdom or empire. I'm like, yo, look at you, that's you right there. They'll probably think I'm God.
They would think you have some type of supernatural power.
Yeah.
Imagine the person on the African continent that like, or in West Africa or Guinea or whatever. Imagine the person that like saw a white people person for the first time.
Man.
So much evil in this world, I sit back like, why bother? But get a different view every time that I call God. It's like Numi got the Uzi, man, she always spitting facts. She be dropping bombs, make all of them double back. And then the crime raises. It's something they never gonna get that. But it's cool, let's sit back and chit chat, unveiled mindset.
You gotta be stoic, you can't be frail. If you get on the track, you can't derail. If you stick around long enough,
you will surely be unveiled.
What's up? What's did it? Welcome to another Unveiled Mindset episode hosted by me, Dauda Kande, and my lovely wife, Numso Kaba.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Unveiled Mindset podcast, where we have enlightening and purpose-filled conversations that help to nurture growth and unveil the mind. If you haven't done so already, make sure you guys hit subscribe down below. We are so close to our summer goal. But yeah, no, hit subscribe down below. If you are tuning into Apple Podcasts or Spotify, make sure you leave a review, hit 5 stars, and let's go. Let's get into the topic.
Should we? You ready? So today our topic, it's gonna be a little bit of left field because we haven't touched on topics like this before.
Okay.
So let's get into it. We're gonna pick up the pace. Should we create artificial womb for humans? That's the topic today, and I can kind of read to you what artificial womb.
Yes.
What it would do or what it's meant to do.
Okay.
So I'm here. I'm looking at it. It's the artificial womb, also known as ectogenesis, could have many benefits for humans, including premature birth and biological parenthood, fetal development. So I can kind of read the details real fast. So for premature birth, artificial womb could help save the lives of premature babies, which are the leading cause of death for our children under 5. Premature birth can lead to lifelong health issues such as development delays, breathing problems, and vision and hearing problems. Artificial womb can also reduce the need for intensive care and spare parents the distress of seeing their child on a ventilator. For biological parenthood, we have artificial womb could make it easier for more people to have biological children, including single people, same-sex couples, and women who are unable to get pregnant due to health reasons. They could also allow people to have children later in life and gestate multiple fetus at once. And we got the fetal development. Artificial womb can provide an environment that's free of disease, environmental pollutants, alcohol, and drugs that might be present in a human circulatory system.
Wow.
Right? So What do you think about this? Like, what's the first thing that come in your mind when you hear artificial womb for humans?
The first thing that came to mind was,
Is it shocking? Is it like, in this day and age, is it like maybe 20 years back? Then you would have been like 10, but damn. I mean, okay, like let's say 10 years back, were you like, well, I guess people were thinking about the future, but go ahead.
the first word that came to mind was defect.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it sounds great. I don't know what the process is. Mm-hmm. It sounds like it has a lot of like all of those things that you just read are amazing pros. Like if you read this and I'm like, oh yeah, perfect. It can help, women who are unable to have children, women, that may have like, drug issues or alcohol issues or whatever. Like the child can grow outside of that environment. All of what you just read sounds great, but I'm like, okay, what is the but? What are the consequences? What are the health defects? What are the, what can go wrong? Even if it's not like immediately, but like 10 years, 20 years, 30 years down the line, will this child live a normal life and have a normal life expectancy? You get what I'm saying? Because I don't know, there has to be something like dealing with like a child growing inside of a human mm-hmm. and constantly getting like certain things from that human just naturally that I feel like is key to that fetus's development. Mm-hmm. But I don't know.
I agree. I mean, like you said, we are the smartest species on Earth, so we do take advantage of a lot of stuff. So with this, it's like with technology, it's a lot of stuff that's like I do believe that they have other technologies or things that they already have like figured out, and that we're just not aware of it. I think they probably have this already set. Mm-hmm. It's just like let me not say pretending, but they're just kind of like displaying a little bit of it so we can see it. As far as like the pros, there's a lot of benefit that comes with it. And as far as a side effect, I feel like maybe that's why they're not testing it on people yet, because they want to make sure that the side effects is not significant, or at least maybe they're not sure yet what could a side effect possibly be for that. So as far as the cons, we just have to look at the side effect. But I don't have much on that. Yeah. As far as like the con, but the pros look fantastic.
Yeah, right? The pros look fantastic, but it definitely scares me. Like. Yeah. You ever see those futuristic movies, you see people in like those not incubators, but like in pods.
Yep.
And then you see the fetuses growing in the pods in like some lab somewhere.
Yeah.
Like that means people can literally mass produce armies.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You no longer need a human you could just sterilize. I don't even know how. Maybe they do need humans. Maybe they do take like the egg and the sperm and things they most like they 100% do. Yeah. I think it's probably the case where they take the, maybe donors. Mm-hmm. I don't know. But either donors or, somebody who voluntarily wants their own child to be developed that way, so maybe they'll like donate their sperm and egg, and then they probably put it together, do something, put it into some sort of environment that's able to allow it to grow. But it sounds like a lot of weird and odd movies that we've watched that like you see pods and pods and pods of just like fetuses. And then who knows? Then you can sterilize like 80% of the population, and then have birth. The Handmaid's Tale, for example, have like
birth effect.
And then have like key people in society that are used for their sperm and egg. And
I mean, I know
that sounds destructive to society.
I mean,
I don't know.
I think as long as they can like monitor like how excessive or to just make sure it doesn't get out of hand. But obviously, like, we are just the public. We don't know much, right?
Yeah.
So what this is like, to me, is like you said, to me, it kind of like give me like a movie vibe. Like, this could be a movie, right? Like, artificial intelligence is used to like create like artificial womb for like humans, right? To make sure life, people can like have babies or more babies or whatever. But it's so confusing because the conspiracy is like, they're trying to make sure the population get reduced. But with this type of technology, it's like
You're
they're trying to allow more babies to be born. So like when I think about it, I was like, okay, what if like, okay, and I think they say within 3 years they're gonna try it on humans, right? And I even seen
oh, it's
something.
almost ready.
Yeah, because they tried it on like 8 baby lambs, right? They were born prematurely, and I think they put them in like this like bag that's connected to a tool that act like an oxygen tank or whatever, something like that. And this within 4 weeks they grew like wool coats and a whole bunch of stuff. So so it worked for those lambs. So eventually they're gonna try it on humans within 3 years, right? And I think they're doing it at the Children's Hospital here in Philadelphia, not too far from Mo. So Mo, be careful. No, it's playing. But my whole thing is like, okay, let's say that they try it on humans, and let's say your baby is born with 3 arms. like the test go wrong and the baby comes out with 3 arms. It's like now we're creating aliens. I think that's what they try to do.
I don't know. I mean, the good thing is like the source is from human, right? It's they're not artificially creating an egg and a sperm. They're using, a human's, sperm. Egg and sperm, and create and like.
So what, they're gonna have like a fake embryo, like a artificial embryo where they will put.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, like I don't. That
like
sounds crazy.
So I get it. I'm less weirded out by like something to aid, meaning that like, okay, a child is born super prematurely. Instead of putting it in, the incubator or like doing all these different things that they're already doing, right, to try to keep that child alive and stuff like that. But using this tool to give the child more of the nourishment that they need and stuff like that. Yeah. So that I'm less like weirded out about, because it's like, okay, it's just an alternative to try to help that premature child. But what I'm more weirded out about is just like the whole from inception, like from like the whole the IA will or AI, I don't know why I keep saying IA. The AI will just house the child from inception onward. That's what it is.
It's fascinating. It's like I want to see what happened in the next 3 years. I mean, it's definitely working on with the baby lambs. It's just, to me, it's like, where are we going like from here? Like I always think about it. I was like be thinking about this, right? Like where we at today, like we're doing this in front of a camera. We got the lights, microphone. Then we go put it on the like technology is so advanced now. Like I be thinking like, yo, if we go back to like in a 1400s, the 1300s, matter of fact, maybe the 8th, like 7th centuries, right? Like if we can, somebody need to make a movie like that. You bring the people back from the 7th centuries or the 8th centuries or whatever time you want to pick, and put them in today's days, right? Is it days or date? Today's days.
Yeah.
We're just messing up. And then like I want to see their reaction, like what is this? Like
they have those,
but
like they're more like the ones that I've watched are more children like, but where the Iceman wakes up or the caveman wakes up.
Oh, the movie. You're talking about a movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, they don't have the.
Yeah, I'm saying like
they don't have them.
Let's say you got like let's say you got Genghis Khan or Mansa Musa on a horse, right at the light, and everybody honking at him. He's looking at the red light and the green light and doesn't know what it is.
Yep.
And then somebody honk at him. He probably think the car is a big animal that came out of the woodwork, try to attack him. He just jump off the horse and try. You get what I'm just saying? It's like I always want to see. I always think about it. I'm like, what are they gonna like?
Oh yeah, they're definitely
gonna be shocked. Like so, you know the funny thing about it, if I was to bring all this technology back then. Let's say I'm able to take all this camera and bring it back to them, and I show one of the kings. I plug a TV and show a king. I go to somebody's kingdom or empire. I'm like, yo, look at that shoe right there. They'll probably think I'm God.
They would think about it. They would think you have some type of supernatural power.
Yeah, like yo, he can make me appear.
Yep.
Like then I can literally control that whole empire with just technology.
That's almost. I feel like that's colonization.
No, that's a fact.
Because when they went over there, those people, first of all, have not seen like Imagine the person on the African continent that like, or like in West Africa or Guinea or whatever. Imagine the person that like saw a white person for the first time.
Man.
Because all you see is black people.
Maybe
you might have some light skins.
Albinos, a little bit.
Oh, the albinos.
But you know, they were cast out because they felt like they didn't belong. Like, what is this? It's not natural.
But
to them, they didn't, you know.
Yeah, maybe they might think that they were albino. Maybe.
Yeah, but
it's different.
Yeah,
like,
it's different.
It looks different. So because the hair is different, everything's different, and then imagine that whole experience, and then them seeing like they have a gun. And then it goes boom, and somebody dies.
And they probably have
what?
They are like, even the fashion, the way they dress with the hat. You know, the funny thing is like, what you're saying is not far fetched though, right? Because think about it. Back home, even us, seeing like when I was back home, seeing a white person was like, oh,
really?
Yes. Like it's funny. It's like Africans are known for making up some of this like dumbest like things. They told us when we were young, yo, if you fart in front of a white person, they will give you money. I swear to God, you can ask people from in Guinea, they'll say if you fart in front of a white person, they'll give you money. This is how they say it. Meaning you fart in front of them, they will give you $1 in our currency. That's a fact. But like true, I think I told you the story. My uncle from Germany used to come back to visit all the time. He used to bring his white friends with him. They used to play the drums and do all the, you know, those white people that's into the African culture. Mm-hmm. So they would come for like a month and they would all stay at my grandma's house. Mm-hmm. When I tell you, we used to wake up in the morning, couldn't wait to go to my grandma's house to go look at white people. Right? And then, you know, the funny thing is, like, this is the difference. Like, in Africa, it's like, yo, lock the door, go inside and lock the door, like lock all the doors. Uh-huh. They were sleeping in, like, outside. My grandma had, like, this little big tippy. Mm-hmm. It was not a tippy, but it's like a, how you call it? I don't know how to explain it. It's like not a patio, but it's like a chill spot within the house. You know how, like
terrace?
Yeah. Right?
Like a terrace.
Yeah, but it has this, the what is it called? The roof. Yeah, the roof is like like a triangle shape going down this way. Okay. Like if it was a teepee, but it's not. Okay. So they used to
one of those metal.
Yep. So they used to go in there and just sleep in there. It was like, because it was a big place and they had like these like extended like chair or futon, I should say. They used to go there and spend the whole night. So we used to come over there and try to like remember remember their name and just talk to them. When they speak French, we're like, oh my God, their French is so so what you're saying is not far-fetched, because seeing white folks to us back then was like amazing. Like, you know, it's like, oh my God, what is this? And we looked, I'm not gonna lie, bro, we used to look, we put them on a pedestal. We looked, this is white. I
could see that.
Yeah, so like we would like, so I get what you're saying.
And this is within our timeline.
Yeah.
Right? Or like our age and generation. So
correct.
Now, do you remember the first white person you saw, or you saw them since you were pretty young?
That was a story. That was a story right there.
Oh, that was the first?
That was the first time I seen a white person.
But you knew that they existed. Yeah. Because they were colonized and the French and all this other stuff. I knew they existed because school. Yeah. And not only that, obviously, TV. You see white people all the time. Yep. You know all your favorite actors. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, you know. Versus, so in the difference between your case and like the example that I gave before is that like it's post-colonization and then TV and things like that. So you've seen, and even though you saw. In person was just was still a shock.
It was a shock. It was like, wow. Like I wanted to go shake their hand. We used to shake their hand. But we used to sit and just look at them like this. I swear to God. And it's like, it's crazy because it's like, when you really think about it, is that how we got played? Because when we watch a movie.
Colonization?
Yeah. Because when we watch movies, right?
That's how Pocahontas got played.
Yeah, she fell in did she fall in love with somebody too?
Yeah, it was. They came to the shore, and then it was the savages versus the. And I
also saw something about like, but I'm not gonna get off topic. I'm gonna
go ahead.
So like, we used to watch movies, right? Like we used to watch movies on like Canal Plus, like you know, it's a francophone, it's a French colonized country. So, like we used to watch movies. Like one of my favorite movies called Maman j'ai raté l'avion. That's the Home Alone by Macaulay Culkin, right? Mm-hmm. So that was that movie played all the time. Mm-hmm. That was probably the Titanic and Home Alone was probably the most like played movie in my country. Mm-hmm. We watch it, bro. I used to love it. The first, the second, to this day I love it. I think that's me talking about it just take me back in our living room. Everybody just watching it. So it used to snow because I think they used to come out during during
Christmas time.
So now mind you, we're Muslims, and I'm not gonna lie, there's no kid that had access to TV that watched Home Alone didn't want to like meet Santa or at least want Santa to bring them gifts.
Oh, that's a fact.
All of us wanted to like be part of that, right? And then it snows.
Yep.
I'm like, yo, I was like, why am I here? Like, I want to go over there as a kid, mind you, as a kid. Why I want to go over there, right? I'm like, why does it snow here? Like, I used to look at this. I'm like, why is it always hot? Why can't it just snow one time? Right? No, I swear to God, this is a culture shock. I said, why does it snow here?
I mean, I'm laughing because I'll tell you my story with snow.
So I was like, why does it snow here? Boom, boom. I'm like, I can't wait to like, cause like it's nostalgia, right? So it give me that feeling. So I wanted to be in that mood. So when I was coming here, like that's all I was thinking about. I'm like, yo, Santa Claus. Like you think life is sweet, like you think everything is sweet, but that was a culture shock, and that's why I say I don't think it's too far fetched of what happened to our ancestors. Maybe they were in shock too.
Yeah,
but go ahead.
My story about snow. I remember. I don't remember what show it was or what movie it was, but it was definitely something, and it was snow, and then the kids would be playing and like building a snowman and like throwing the snow and like snow angels and stuff like that. And I remember I was really, really, really young. Like I must have been, because I left when I was 6 and from Ivory Coast, so I must have been like
super young,
4 or 5, right? Like 4 or 5 maybe. And so I told so I wanted to go. I wanted to go there, right? And my nanny told me that she was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna take you. I was like, what? You're gonna take me there? Like I said, bet. I put all my sweaters and things like that. Like, she was like, go get ready and stuff like that. I'll take you. I put all my sweaters and stuff and I was like, okay, I'm ready to go. And then like she dragged it. And then was like, okay, we're gonna go tomorrow. I was like, oh, okay, fine. Tomorrow came, same thing. She's like, okay, we'll go tomorrow. The next day came, same thing. And then eventually I was like I made a fit. And I was like, I want to go now. Today is the day that we need to go. I have my sweater. I'm ready. I have my hat.
They're lying to you.
And then I remember like then my mom or one of my parents basically like, because I went to them. I was like, she said we're going over there to the snow place, and then she hasn't taken me. And then one of my parents basically told her like, cut it out, like stop, just don't do that. Don't tell me that they're gonna take me somewhere and then go. And then I don't know what the conversation was, but somehow they told me or there was a realization that like it didn't really exist, or like not that it didn't exist, but like they're like she can't take me there or something like that. And it was just such a disappointment. But I remember, and then the trees, like, so in our cool we had a big tree that went up. So it's funny because like in Ivory Coast, when you drive around, especially around like the holidays and stuff like that, people will be selling the lights, the green lights with the thing. So we used to get the lights and then like light up the tree and stuff like that. And I remember I put like on a letter, like I wrote everything that I wanted from Santa, and then I put it under the tree.
Man.
But nothing happened.
At least you got a chance to put something under the tree. We were getting smacked up upside the head if we said anything about Santa. Really? You Muslim.
See, for me, when I was younger, like even with my dad bought the lights and stuff. Did you see the picture of my dad when he played Santa Claus? Yeah. Oh no!
Not the picture of that playing Santa Claus.
You didn't see?
I'm thinking about Halloween when your mom was explaining how like she got you ready for Halloween.
Oh yeah. No,
I never saw that.
Oh really? Mm-hmm. He gonna have to pull it out. There's it was for his job, and then they did like some sort of event or something. Like this was like ages ago, some sort of event, and so like they had like these Santa Claus people, and then maybe it was for charity or not for profit something. And so you just see this black Santa Claus. But for me, growing up, like, it's interesting. It wasn't until literally like I came to America, and then I also got like older, that like I would realize like, oh, Christmas is a religious holiday, or is for Christians. I never, in my head as a child,
it's appealing to
it's
kids.
like Santa Claus.
Gifts
Santa, like, to me there it was not religious at all.
Yeah,
like
the fat guy.
Even if we practiced, or even if like, even let's say, because there are times where like I got gifts, not there, but like let's say here, for example, it was never a religious thing. It was like a commercial, like,
yes,
holiday for us.
And putting it in movies too also
Yeah,
make you like,
it was a season like for us, and like it was it was about Santa Claus, like
Papa Noel.
Papa Noel, like Santa Claus. He comes, he's big, all the stories and stuff like that. I remember, like, that's kind of what it was for me. And then when I got older is when I realized that, like, oh, okay, it's a Christian holiday. But before that, just like Halloween, like, or just any of these holidays, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's crazy because you it's like back home in Africa.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I mean,
like, because if you think about Thanksgiving, like, that has nothing to do with your ancestors or my ancestors.
Yeah, I think it's like once you become part of a culture, or you kind of adapt to it a little bit. You don't look at it for what it really stands for. You just kind of celebrate. I think that's what we all fall victim to that, or whatever the case may be. But we know the history behind it. The thing is, the whole thing about it is like the culture shock, right? It's funny how we go from artificial womb to like lead into culture, right? So like the culture shock was like,
because of technology.
This is fun. It's like that right there. The Home Alone was like a great what you want to call it, marketing. I don't know if it was done on purpose, but it was a great marketing to kids in Africa to see things in a certain like aspect, in a certain light, right? Because like if we were all the kids were attracted to that Santa Claus, right? Easily a kid can leave his religion and just say, yo, I want to pick that. This is fun. Right? So that one, and then like the fact that we see,
I have something I want to say to that after,
and the fact that we see like white people on TV all the time in these like great movies. And I'm not gonna say we didn't see black folks, but like we saw plenty of like
and
white,
Asian,
exactly. Oh my God, Asians have like Asian movies got, I think it's not only in Africa, I think in America too, like a big influence on Africa. Like I pretty much seen all the Jackie Chan movie, all the Jet Li movie, all the Bruce Lee movie, on Bak, and with like Americans, like we know all the actor. Like we had Jean-Claude Van Damme, we had Chuck Norris, we have Steven Seagal. We even give him a nickname called Nico. Like it was a movie that his name was Nico. Like he don't even get touched. Like, so we get like, what's the guy, the Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, I think that's what it is. But yeah, then you got Sylvester Stallone and Rambo and Rocky. These movies, when we look at this, like, we have our own movies back home, but they're not like, they're not cinematic. They're just kind of like, it looked like they shot it off an iPhone or whatever. You gotta like kind of bang the cassette to put it back in there to make sure it works. So it's like, but it's funny, as I got older, I appreciate our movies that we put out more than I did when I was younger. But yeah, go ahead. Oh, and sorry, and not to cut you off, to add on to that, I always thought about, I was like, the reason why I wanted to snow in Africa, because I was like, yo, Santa Claus never traveled this way. It gotta snow in Africa in order for Santa Claus to come to Africa. So I used to beg so I could see, but Santa Claus will never come to Africa. It's too hot. And we probably just rob him. They would just take all of his gifts.
Another story about snow. When I came here to visit before I even ended up moving, and I was little, so like I saw snow, right? Because we came to New York and there was snow. I was so happy. I was playing around. I actually have a picture of that. And when we were going back to Ivory Coast, I put like in a Ziploc bag or in a plastic bag. I put snow in. I put snow in the Ziploc bag or in a plastic bag to take it back to Ivory Coast.
I'm not gonna
so
lie.
that I could share it with my friends.
You an
And
idiot.
then I got. Did you know that snow melted?
Yes, you an
As
idiot.
a child?
You an idiot.
Why would I know snow melted? I
Who's
never. Hold on. Pause.
How old were
Hold
you
on.
though?
I was probably like 4.
You lying. You probably was like 12.
No, I moved here when I was 6, so I was
Okay.
younger. It was before I moved here.
Yo.
So I moved here when I was like turning 6, right? No, I was already 6. And so, but before we moved, my siblings had already lived here for 2 years. So I used to come visit like every break. We would come visit. And yeah, I was what, maybe first grade. And mind you, we don't have snow back home. So in what science class? I don't even remember science class in the kindergarten.
I don't even remember being 4. But go ahead. I don't remember. Being
Or what
4.
about 5? You remember?
I told you that's for the inside voice, but.
So it was either 4 or 5. It was definitely less than 6 because I moved when I was 6. So
You put snow in a Ziploc bag to take it back to Africa.
when you were
It's
5,
140 degree. You an idiot. I don't care if I was 4. I'm not doing that.
you would have. Yes, you would have.
No.
You wanted. Hold on. You wanted it to snow
Yes.
over there.
I wasn't like.
Did you not know the whole thing about the
No,
equator
I said-
and why
I
it
said
doesn't snow over there?
Me wanting it for snow to come in Guinea. In
Yeah,
Africa.
but that's not logical in
No.
itself.
I say that's what I wanted. I didn't say it's gonna happen.
I was gonna make it happen.
Yeah, like you could.
I didn't just want it.
No,
I
you
was
can
like,
make snow in Africa though. You just put the ice in a bag, just crush it. That's snow.
no, that's ice.
No, I'm saying you
That's
crush
crushed
it.
ice.
You know, like you crush. Like if you crush it enough, it will turn into like.
It's not like the fluffy snow. Like it's not like the. Listen, I came here. I was like, I got this.
I hate snow.
She gave me a fake. She tried to tell me that we were gonna come. I finally got to see snow. The rest of my homies about to see this snow.
No, that's crazy.
And then I got back and I saw that it was water, and I spoke with my parents, and then they explained to me why it's water.
Yeah. So
They were not teaching that in kindergarten in Ivory Coast, where
we didn't have snow. We were more.
it wasn't
dealing with-
even a topic of discussion.
But we knew about like snow. Like we know what it is. Like it's hot over here and it's over there. It's the weather is different. So it's so we knew, like I knew that like it's not gonna snow in Africa. It's super hot. But
At 5?
no, I'm saying like
At
school.
6?
No, I don't remember when I realized. But that's for the inside voice. Like you're saying, like I don't
Yeah.
remember like the age.
Okay.
Like no, I do remember like when I was like it was probably like 8, 9 when I was talking about like 8, 9 I knew like, but I'm just saying 4 I don't remember nothing from like then like 4 years old. I don't even remember what I was doing.
What did I want to, when you said something, what did I say? You said something and I was like, oh, I have something for that.
I lost my train of thought. I mean, I didn't lose my train of thought. You lost your train of thought, but you just made me lose my train of thought. I can't remember. I said something
You
about.
said something and I was like, oh, I have something for that.
Maybe it'll come back. I think I was talking about like, it will never snow. Santa Claus will never come to Africa because it doesn't snow in Africa.
No.
The actors, like I was talking about how like Asian movies were
Has
so
a lot of influence.
Yeah.
That wasn't it.
okay.
I lost it.
Okay, so it might come back. Like,
It might come
I have
back.
to go back. But yeah, with all of these technologies, right? And if you can take all this technology back to go back in any empire to impress the king, to either like take over the kingdom or whatever, where would you go? Would you go to like Mali Empire? Would you go to the Songhai Empire? Would you go to the Mongolian Empire? Where would you go? Are you gonna look up the empires?
No, if I had to, I would say it would either be the Ghana or the Mali Empire. Honestly, the Mali Empire.
And what would you do? What would be your plan? What would be your, what would be the objective for you if you take all of these technology to impress a king?
So it wouldn't be to like take over or brainwash them, but it would be to, well, okay, number one, I would want to go to the Ghana and the Mali Empire to just like be a fly on the wall and see how things were, right? And Like, and then you speed up time, and I'm just like gaining knowledge and like really seeing.
It was a lot of flaws
how
in the wall
they're
back
moving.
then. So you'd have done that with.
Mind you guys, so the Ghana Empire, Mali Empire, the Ghana, like this has nothing to do with like modern day Ghana. These are Manding people. So like our ethnic group, Mandingo people, it's like where Mali, like Senegal, like Muhitani is like that. It's like north kind of. And so, whereas like, anyways, you go to saying, Google it, take a look. So I would say I would go to both, and then in the Mali Empire, like I will want to kind of see like Mansa Musa and like his whole how he ruled and like what they did, right? Like think about the daily life, like when we watch like Game of Thrones, like think about like they wake up, okay, I gotta wash my clothes, I gotta like. What is the daily life of like the noble person?
The noble person. Well, the noble person probably was living like a person, a person that would live in a 2-bedroom apartment in New York back then. That's probably what it was, right? Like that's noble. Like a 2-bedroom apartment in New York back then is probably like. No, I'm probably tripping. I'm probably stretching. They probably had a big.
They had a compound, fortress, probably. They have maids, butlers. But like, what was like? You know how like here, like. I think the way that this society is now is from birth. Like you have the parents that work, the kids from birth, they then go to school. Like there's almost like a plan for up until you're like 25, almost like a quarter of your life. Maybe back then they were child laborers. I don't know. But anyways, I would take it back to him, and then I would like show him kind of, and maybe, by taking some of this technology back, it will help us. I will be an asset to the war, when the Arabs come or when the Moroccans come, and, make sure that the empire doesn't fall down.
Almoravids. Me, what I would go back to the Mali Empire. I would go back to the Ghana Empire. I would go back to the Songhai Empire. I would go back to even the Benin Empire. Like I would go to all of those places. But the person that I would focus on a lot would be Mansa Musa. You know what? Because he gave out a lot of like fortune. He was giving out gold to like people and stuff like that. And for the other empires, I would go back and let them know, hey, look, guys. There's a wrath coming for Africans. So
be on the guard.
And you see all this technologies here? Don't be fooled about this. It's nothing. Like, this doesn't mean I'm stronger than you. This is just somebody that came up with a creative idea and then just made this. Don't. If you want to look at yourself, go by the river and just look at the water. You see yourself. Like, don't. If somebody bring you a mirror,
glass.
Somebody bring you a mirror and you like, oh my God, that's. Yeah, but nah, I think I'll go back and just put those things in order. Like, don't fall for this, don't fall for that. Because the reason why I said that, I saw it somewhere. I think it was in a journal of Christopher Columbus. He was talking about, he was talking about the Native American being so
amazed and like in awe.
No, not that. They were so generous and nice. So if you ask them for something, they would give it to you. He said that he was kind of not mocking him, like it was like kind of laughable to him, like he couldn't believe it that you guys are so giving, and because of that they got taken advantage of. Like this, like it's like the same thing for us. We always talk about like how Africans and African countries are super generous, and because of that people can easily take advantage of us. So I would go there and say, yo, y'all need to be selfish, y'all need to be a little mean to like outsiders just for the time being until the wrath goes and go past over, and then go back to your natural habitat. But,
and then honestly I wouldn't even say go back to your natural. I would say take some of this technology and be the greatest in this world, right? Like or take, allow this to further progress, like Timbuktu and like all the things that you already have in place.
And we gotta talk about that too, like African technology. We'll have another segment about that, but not today. But we need to get into that to see where we're gonna do some research to see like what went wrong with us. Like, what was it? Like, was all of our, because we didn't had a conversation about invention, and we know there's a lot of black people that invented a lot of stuff. So we're gonna have a different segment about that. But okay, so we can go back to the topic now. As far as like we went from artificial womb to culture to Santa Claus. But so as far as the artificial womb, so we have concluded that we think it's beneficial. It would be beneficial for human. For
so
humanity?
I said I want to know all the cons. I want to know tell me what the risks are. It sounds like it is beneficial, and it would be beneficial if used appropriately. Like it sounds like it could fix a lot of issues and help a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I would definitely say I would like to see more about this because it's the life we're talking about. You know.
And they're using a lot of they're using like lamb to like lambs because they use more than one to try these new technology or whatever. So that be said, like we're gonna lead into this. Like, do you feel like testing on animals should be banned? Because in this situation, for this artificial womb, in order for this to work, they have to test it out on some type of kind of animal. So how do you feel about that, knowing that we own a dog
who's over there sleeping and twitching in his sleep?
So you want me to give you my answer first?
No, I have an answer. I think some like when necessary, right? When necessary, I think like it has definitely helped in our evolution of technology and medicine and things like that. So I can't sit here and say like absolutely stop testing on all animals. So then am I gonna volunteer myself to go to be tested on instead?
Nah, it's crazy.
Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, should they throw things out into the public and for that to be tested, right? Like without actually using mice or whatever the case may be in order to test these things. And so I wouldn't want it's to me, I look at it as it's either animals or they're testing it on us, and I'd rather it not be us. And the reason I say when necessary is because like, there are a lot of like for example, cosmetic companies that test on animals, right? Like, fragrances and things. Like there are a lot of things that like isn't necessarily a need in terms of like it's medicine or, or something like that. But it's more of like because we live in a capitalist world, and it's more of a, we want to profit for non-essential things. So that's when necessary. I think it's necessary.
Yeah, I'm a little bit on the fence on here. Like I know like humanity need to like be put in a better position, and I think we also need to not be put in a position where you getting tested on, because that is inhumane. But is it humane to test it on animals? Like, this is a dog world, no pun intended, but it's like you have to survive. Life is all about survival, so you have to do what you have to do to survive, right? So like, I won't say don't do it, but at the same time, I won't say just do it whenever you want, like you said.
Yeah.
Because if you, like, for example, the hundreds, right? Like, as at one point they had to test the serum, or they had to test something on somebody.
Oh yeah.
And then they end up choosing, like, the guy was like, yo, you're not gonna choose my girl.
Yeah.
To test it on. But the reason why they was trying to use her, because she was like a horrible person. She had lied and she had committed some crime, so they felt like she was not
for them.
Yeah, like a good citizen for the society at the time. So they was gonna go ahead and test it on her. He said no. So I'm just in a situation like that. Let's say that my dog is the only animal that's left for people for a scientist to take him to the lab to test a serum or some type of
that's gonna save all of humanity.
Yeah. In that case, would you say, no, I'm in love with my dog, like I have to, like I'm not gonna, I love my dog, but like if it's
but I also love my parents and you and
like, if I gotta save society, it's
hard.
All I'm gonna say, look, I'm glad that I'm glad I'm human. I'm not a dog or animal, because what humans
like, because a lot has had to happen, I feel like, in order for us to get to the solutions that we have.
Yeah, but we do love animals though.
No, I'm saying like a lot has happened to animals in order for us to get to the current medicine and solutions that we have in society.
In terms of like testing?
Yeah. Like, and because think about it, like the medicine or things that we have, it's not the first version that we have, right?
Yeah.
So what did that first version do? What were the side effects? You know?
Yeah, that's true.
And so it's almost it's horrible to think about. Like and the thing is, I couldn't work in that industry. Like I could not be in a lab testing on rodents or pigs or whatever the case may be. I couldn't. I'm way too caring about animals to be able to do that. It's tough.
Yeah. So in conclusion, for the artificial womb, we're not 100% sure yet. We're gonna wait to see how it turns out because we don't know the full details and the side effect of it. And as far as banning testing on animals, I think it shouldn't be banned, and I think it shouldn't be overutilized for just any type of reason, right? Mm-hmm. And so I think that's what we came up with for our conclusion for this topic. But at the end of the day, we're just gonna go ahead and wrap it up from here. That was a great discussion. We got into a multitude of different topics, and then we're able to bring it back to the initial topic of the first artificial womb. And yeah, I think overall it was good. Yeah, so we're gonna
let us know your comments down below. If let's say if you're African, for example, and you also wanted to see snow and whatnot, let us know. Let us know if you have any funny stories.
Yep. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, click on the notification button, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Apple Podcasts, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube page. We out.
Bye.
I sit back like, why bother? But get a different view every time that I call daughter. It's like Numi got the Uzi, man, she always spitting facts. She be dropping bombs, make all of them double back. And then the crime raises. It's something that ain't never gonna get that. But it's cool, let's sit back and chit chat, unveiled mindset.